Hey, hola, hey, guess who's back? Power forward list 2023, 2024. I'm not gonna rank Lauri Markkanen since he was in the small forward list, since they project John Collins to play here, starting, and he's here, so I guess I'm just gonna leave him out here. Otherwise, he would be up there at the S tier, and I'm gonna redo my classic the best. Then up next, if there is somebody that is actually up next, which might not be the case with KD and Giannis, then elite, then good, then solid, and we'll leave it at that as of right now. Maybe there could be great good. We'll see how we do as we move along with this list. So Aaron Gordon to start us off. Like, I'm not gonna go up next. I already decided right now, and I know I could have easily had this prepared, but I love making it like this. And I'm gonna give him great because I think he's great at what he does, and he helped very much the Denver Nuggets win the NBA championship. Played incredibly well, shot 56% from the field, had a great playoff year, and I think he's a great defender. And he made a lot of problems for Kevin Durant, for Jimmy Butler. He did so well, and it was special. And he had a really great playoff finals run. He had that game 4 where he took over with Bruce Brown, and he had some huge games. I think he's great, even though you could count him in good if you wanted to, but I'm gonna give him great. Marvin Bagley, that's a weird one, man. Marvin Bagley has had a weird career. Started off in Sacramento, where of course there were some issues with the management and playing time. I'm pretty sure he even had some rough injury luck. Yeah, he played just 13 games in 2019-2020. And he always could get buckets at a decent clip, right? Over 50% from the field. But I don't know, man. His defense is really bad. He's a okay rebounder, and he doesn't do much defensively, and of course, assist wise it's not as needed since he's a power forward, but I'm gonna leave him I'm gonna keep him in solid as of right now, I think, and we'll see where we go, because when you compare him to a Jabari Smith, I think Jabari Smith is good. Right? He's played 1 year, averaged similar stats with horrible shooting stats, and I think he's good. I think that might be a little bit of my bias. Maybe he should also be in solid right now, and I think he's gonna end up at good, maybe even great at the end of this season after the summer league he had, even though summer league games are not a great example, but I just like what he's made of overall. So I'm gonna put them both in good and put Nick Batum in solid because that feels more right to me as of right now. Maybe I'll change them once again, as it's completely fine if you change your mind a lot of times. Let's just say that. And I'll leave it at that right now. Really intriguing comparison with these two, right? We're also high on Jabari, of course, he's 1 year in, and we were also low on Bagley after his first year. I mean, not sure if all, but I think the general Twitter, and I'm not sure if public, because of course I don't have many friends here in the Czech Republic that talk ball with me, so I don't know actually. Bobby Portis, that's a weird one. Like, does he belong in the great tier? Maybe at the end? I don't think he's comparable to what Aaron Gordon does, but I don't think he's comparable to these guys, what he does. But calling Bobby Portis great also feels weird, man. Like, he averaged 14 points, almost 10 rebounds, shot 37% from the 3-point line, 50% from the field. He does what he does great, that's for sure, and he's a great off-the-bench sixth man. He also obviously brings that, I don't know, the energy that he has and overall attitude, which helps him. I'm gonna put him in great. Maybe I'll leave him at good at the end of the video. Right now, I think he fits great. I feel it's weird when we call these starters like bad or mid or something. I think Nick Batum is still a solid player, even though he's probably not gonna be starting. But yeah, It is what it is. Just realized that we've barely... I don't think I've saw Kawhi on any of these tier lists, honestly. Especially the shooting guards and small forward ones. It was both Paul George in there, so... that's intriguing. Brandon Clark, I think he's good. I think what he does really well. He's a low one-dimensional offensively, of course, with essentially being a great rim runner and puts a great pressure, really great rebounder, can disrupt the ball, can disturb your rebounds, wise, especially offensive boards. I'm not sure if he's not going to be injured heading into the season still. But yeah, he had a rough luck injury-wise last year. He got injured like 3/4 of the way, like 75% into the season. So I'm gonna put him in good, and we'll see. John Collins, that's a weird one. Like, his stats scream good, but I would much rather put him in solid, man. He's had a weird career as of right now. He's had a weird season as of right now. And when we look at his overview, his stats pretty much went up in the first 3 seasons and down, and now he shot just almost 30% from the 3-point line. Still a great athlete. Had some rough luck with injuries. I guess I'll put him in good still, but is it weird? Is it weird? Like, when you compare him to our next guy, Dorian Finney-Smith, who has had the worst stats, especially with the Brooklyn Nets. What would you rather have, huh? That's a good question. He really struggled with the Nets, that's for sure. He had a really bad stint with the Nets, and that didn't help him. He's still a really good defender. Didn't shoot the ball well in Brooklyn at all. Doesn't bring that great of a rebounding advantage. I think they're fairly comparable as of right now, even though I would say most people will be more high on Dorian Finney-Smith based on his defensive presence, but it is what it is. Draymond Green. Like, do I call Draymond still elite? Like, what he does defensively is so underappreciated, even by me sometimes, because he gets so much on my nerves based on his off-the-field stuff sometimes, and sometimes just his demeanor. And it feels weird calling him elite when he's gonna be up there probably with KD, right? But I don't think he's like worse than these guys. He just brings that much defensively. He's the leader. Of course, I guess it's the Jordan Poole punch tax, right? He doesn't deserve to be an elite because he lost a lot of his leadership and a lot of his stuff because of that. And I think he's gonna have the best year since 2016 this year, maybe. He's coming off a bad season, fairly for him. He's also coming off the probably worst controversy of his career. He also is coming off one of his earliest exists in the playoffs since 2014, essentially. And he has all the time to get right, to get back to where he was defensively. Jordan Poole is now gone, so he should have the voice back, and he's great. He's great still, and I think he's gonna be elite this season. I sure hope so, because we're gonna need it, let's just say it that way, right? Giannis, I mean, is there anything to say really here? 31 and 12, I mean, plays like 32 minutes per game every year. Had some tough luck injury-wise once again. The shooting is still rough and inconsistent, of course, but like, does it matter with Giannis? Still some question marks to me, but he is one of the top 3 players in the world for me still, and I'll leave it at that. Jay Crowder, he's the definition of solid, where you could argue he deserves to be somewhere in the mid category if you were to rank NBA players by mid standards, haha. Modern day culture, I don't mind it. I like the jokes, to be quite honest with you, right? It doesn't have to be too serious, and it also doesn't have to be too over the top. There's somewhere a balance that I'm trying to strike here, because I feel like me calling an NBA player a bum is just rough. And even though I've done it, of course, I've done it because sometimes they piss me off on my Warriors. Sometimes they just play so badly that you feel like, what the hell is going on? And I guess it also sells views more, right? I'm pretty sure I called Dylan Brooks a bum a million times already. Yeah, Hey, we're all hypocrites at the end of the day, and that's fine, man. As long as we do it with the heart, with our hearts in the right place, and that's the philosophy section of this video. Jaden McDaniels. I'm a little too high on Jaden McDaniels. I would put him here, honestly, but he doesn't deserve to be anywhere near them, I would argue. He's great, man. I really like how he does defensively, and I'm putting him in good, even though I said he's great. I really love him, but I don't think he's great at defense. He brings a lot of stuff to the floor overall. He plays a good impact role, but he's not great at both sides of the floor. His offense is obviously very limited. He shoots fairly well, but of course takes fairly enough to his best shooting season of his career. We'll see if it continues. Started off really well in his first year, then it dipped in the second year. Now it was once again up, so we'll see if the trend continues and he goes down from that. But he's a great rim runner. He puts great pressure, really great defender. I would argue he's somewhere in the all-star role player role. All-star role player could be the right word for a lot of these guys, actually, right? But I'm gonna leave him at that. So there's Jarvis Walker, who's gonna be starting for the Indiana Pacers. I've really liked his energy when I watched him in the summer league. I watched some highlights. I'm a little high on him. I think he's gonna be good, but I'm gonna rank him at good at the end. I think he's gonna be better than these guys, and I really like him for what the Pacers are and for what they will be going for. Even though Obi Toppin might be starting, who knows actually, right? And he's also here, so that is that. Then it's Jeremy Sochan of the San Antonio Spurs. He was a really good engine defensively. Did a little bit of everything. I think he's good. Not sure. I would rather have him than these guys, to be quite honest with you. As of right now, I might be a little too higher on him than most, but I will be, and I don't care. Jaren Jackson. Jaren Jackson is elite at what he does, but there's still the foul downside, and he's been showing it also in the World Cup. And it feels weird to me calling him elite and not Draymond elite. But he's great, man. He's really great. But I'm gonna give him a lead and leave it at that right now. Julius Randle, another player that's gonna be controversial. He's elite, but he needs to just show us something in the playoffs that's different than what we've seen these last 2 playoff appearances. Of course, there were some injuries. He averaged just 16 points, which is compared to his 25 points, as you could see, 9 points lower per game, which is rough. Didn't rebound as well, didn't assist as well. I think he's elite at what he does, but he needs to just show it in the playoffs way more. And then that is the nasty stuff. I'm gonna give KD up here, man. It feels weird having him with these guys and not with Giannis. Like, I think Giannis is better, not by that much. KD has slightly regressed. He doesn't create as effectively for himself, doesn't drive as much, but the defense is also shift way more focus on him. So that is that. This feels much more right. It doesn't feel right having him here, man. So I'll leave it at that. Kelly Olynyk, he's been having a really great World Cup. FIBA Kelly Olynyk might be a top 10 player in the league, to be quite honest with you. But he's good. I would much rather have him than, honestly, most of these guys. I would rather have Jaden McDaniels, but I really like Kelly Olynyk. The one thing that is an issue with him, he hasn't been able to stay healthy overall. Last year, he had one of his most healthy seasons since Miami 2018-2019. He played 68 games. So hopefully that continues the trend for him. Larry Nance Jr. Larry Nance is solid. I would put him in good, but he was really good when Zion was healthy. Let me just put it that way. And when Zion wasn't healthy, he was solid. So that is that. Average 7, 5, and 2. He's a really good, he's a good player. Just compared to these guys, I'm not that high on him, and I'm high on Jarvis Walker, so I'm gonna put him in there because that makes more sense than putting him down here in solid when I don't think he's gonna be there. Because yesterday I put the 2 rookies at the end of the last tier, and I feel like I did them injustice, even though there might have not been any. Yeah, that was a solid tier. I'm maybe rambling a little too much. But hey, that's the chaos, baby. That's what we thrive in. Kevin Love, like, he was solid with the Heat. Played a good run with them playoff-wise. He's just not good anymore, in my opinion, man. He's just not good anymore. I don't think... maybe he'll have a bounce-back season, man. Who knows? Maxi Kleber, I would put him in good based on his previous season, but based on his last season, the injuries were an issue. They have been an issue since 2020, 2021, a little bit. And he... You know, the eye test is better than the stat test, let me just say that. But he's not been as good this season, in my opinion. He's solid. He could once again be really good after coming off that injury, finally being fully healthy. We'll see. But I'm gonna put him in there. Evan Mobley is great. I'm not gonna put him in lead despite how much I love his defense, because he also had a rough playoff run. And it left a bad taste in my mouth a little bit. He was really bad offensively, which didn't help his case, kind of like a Draymond that's less you know, utilized offensively. He was still really good defensively, but it wasn't as great. So I'm gonna leave him here and leave it at that. Obi Toppin, that's a weird one to rank, because I've ranked the guy he's gonna be competing probably for the starter spots ahead of him. And he's solid. Like, he's good, but I don't think he compares to these guys. But, let me just say, I think he's gonna really thrive next to Tyrese Halliburton, man. Tyrese Halliburton, another one of these names on the USA roster, and he's been hooping, man. He's been hooping. And I'm really excited what he's gonna create for Obi Toppin with his passing and just his craftiness, the Jason Kiddness. As I heard my favorite YouTuber compare him to Jason Kidd, and I couldn't agree more. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Then we have Paolo Banchero, the Rookie of the Year, the reigning Rookie of the Year. 27-4, essentially 43% shooting, 30% from the 3-point line. Had some ups and downs, but I'm gonna put him in elite, man. I'm that high on Paolo. He's gaining more confidence in the World Cup. And I think his second year jump is gonna be nice. It's gonna be really nice. And Orlando will be a sleeper team for the playoffs. No doubt about that. Pascal Siakam, another elite guy. If I'm having a Julius Randle in elite, then I have to have Pascal Siakam in elite. Let me just put it that way. Patrick Williams, the third year guy. Like, I'm gonna give him good for sure. I like him probably more than these guys as of right now. I hope they give him more, you know, space to shine this year. But of course, still DeMar DeRozan out there, still Zach LaVine out there together. But I still am a somewhat believer. He's really good defensively. He shot 42% from the 3-point line on 3.4 attempts per game. So I think there's still a lot of untapped potential there. And I'm excited to see it develop. Hopefully they will, though. PJ Washington, another good player. I don't think he's great at all compared to these, but he, of course, belongs somewhere in here. I would probably rather have these guys than him. But he's really good, man. Solid shooter, 35% from the 3-point line. 36.6 career shooter, 16 points per game, 5 rebounds. The rebounding could be better, but he's good. Robert Covington belongs in solid. He's barely played throughout this year, I'm pretty sure, and I'm not sure, is he even on the Clippers still? I'm not actually sure, man, but yeah, he has been kinda, not sure if washed up is the right word, because I don't like to, I mean, yeah, it is, I suppose. Rui Hachimura. Like, Rui Hachimura is good, and with the Lakers, he was really good in the playoffs and had some really great moments overall. He should get better with them. They're believing in him. He is... what is he? 25 years old, gonna be 26. Had a great playoff run. Like, genuinely really great. How much did he average, actually? 13 points per game, which you did not expect from him. Shot 52% from the 3-point line, man. Like, he's good, but I would rather have these guys still, and probably a lot more from them. I don't know. But he's benefiting, of course, with playing with LeBron and AD, and no, he has not shined away from that, which is great. You want that from your young guys and from these types of players like him who got a second chance. Tari Eason of the Houston Rockets is solid. Not sure if he'll actually be, I mean, he'll be in the rotation still. Tobias Harris, I've ranked him in the small forward rank, but to be fair, he probably does belong in here or at the top of this list, whatever you want. I'm not gonna rank him since I ranked him in the small forward one. Then is this what's his name? Oh my god! That's the power forward from the Kings, the shooting power forward, Trey Lyles, right? Is it Trey Lyles? Yeah, it's Trey Lyles. He's solid. He played really well against my Warriors, but he's good. I think all of these players, like if I were to say him, he is good. Tari Eason is good. Obi Toppin is good. Maxi Kleber is good. I think Kevin Love is not good as much anymore. He is good. He is good. He is good. And these two are more on the downside. I think they all can be really good role players, but as of right now, I would rank them more in solid than good based on the last season and the injuries and stuff. So that is that. PJ Tucker, one of those guys where, like, what he brings to your team, the stats can describe, right? And he still shot 40% from the 3-point line. Of course, he averaged like 3.5 points per game. And shot really poorly inside the arc. Weird player to rank here. Like, based on the stats, you would put him here, but I can't do that in good faith, so I'm gonna put him in good. Jared Vanderbilt, another player that I really liked, but I think I'm gonna put him in solid as of right now. He needs to get better offensively so he can get playing time. He's overall a really good, like, grifter, or how do you say it, man? Like, he can bring you the effort. He's solid around the rim, of course, and he rebounds really well, defense really well, but the offense is just that bad that I don't think I can put him in good faith right now. Christian Wood, that's another player that's weird to rank here. He's still without a team. Averaged 16.6 per game, 51.5% from the field, 38% from the 3-point line, 7 rebounds. Like, he's good, but where I would put him, man, I don't know, man. Like, I guess around here. Really weird, really weird. Zach Collins, do you remember when Clay and him got into it in the playoff series? But he was good, man. I'm gonna give him props. He has been good for the Spurs. And that is that. He just needs to stay more healthy, which has been an issue throughout his career overall. He did not play in 2020-2021, played just 28 games in 2021-2022, 63 games last season. We'll see if he stays healthy. Zion Williamson. Zion is elite, man. I'm dead high on Zion still. Just stay healthy, man. And I'll leave it at that, because these two will not be ranked as I ranked them in the small forward one. Yeah, tell me if I'm tripping with something. If I'm not, remember all these players are kind of good, but based on their role and what they did, I would say they're more of a solid tier as of right now, but all of them can be good or are good in a way, right? They're all good basketball players at the end of the day, but we're here to rank them for a reason. Let me know your position on these players if you want. If you don't, that's also fine. There's that. So yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow with the centers list, hopefully.